What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Now it's time to address the elephant in the room. Because when I heard this during Carmelo Anthony's speech, I knew this was going to break the internet, and I knew it was going to make a lot of Black Americans upset for real, right? So Carmelo Anthony went into the Hall of Fame the other day, and when he gave his speech, he talked about his Puerto Rican ancestry, right? Puerto Rican heritage. So for those who don't know, Carmelo Anthony is half Puerto Rican and half Black, right? Now, in order for you to know this, you have to really be a Carmelo Anthony fan. I knew this since I was a young cub because I was a big Carmelo fan, right? However, Carmelo's father passed away at 2 years old due to cancer, I believe, right? So Carmelo did not grow up with his father. He didn't grow up raised in Puerto Rican heritage at all, none whatsoever. Right? He was raised by his Black American mother in Baltimore, Maryland, around other Black folks in the hood of Baltimore, Maryland, around really nothing but Black folks, right? Now, again, he was born in New York, but then moved to Baltimore at a very young age and was raised in Baltimore, Maryland, for real, right? So, and I know New Yorkers, look, if you're born in New York, you from New York, but he was raised for real, and his formative years occurred in Baltimore, Maryland, in the hood, amongst other Black folks. So anyway, he paid homage to his father. And there's nothing wrong with paying homage to your father. There is nothing wrong with even recognizing the other side of your lineage at all. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But it was the verbiage that Carmelo Anthony used when giving his speech that had certain Black Americans alarmed and had certain Black Americans upset. Many Black Americans upset, right? So let me give y'all the quote that he gave during his speech. Carmelo Anthony said, "To Puerto Rico, my soul, my blood, my heart, I carry the flag in my heart. I carry the island in my veins. When I wore those colors on my chest, I wasn't just playing basketball. I was honoring the heritage. I was honoring my father. I was honoring every Puerto Rican who ever had to fight twice as hard to get as far. Puerto Rico, you gave me fire. You gave me soul. You gave me home. We are proud. We are powerful. We are present. This Hall of Fame moment belongs to the island. It belongs to us." That verbiage right there is what has a lot of Black Americans upset with Carmelo Anthony. Because you can pay homage to your other lineage. But right here, he's giving all of the glory, all of the praise, all of the shine to his Puerto Rican heritage for how far he's come in basketball, and he's giving all of the shine and all of the honor and glory to his Puerto Rican heritage for him being in the Hall of Fame in this Hall of Fame moment, right? And that's where a lot of people are upset with him. So when I'm looking at this quote that I just read to y'all, when you say, I was honoring every Puerto Rican who ever had to fight twice as hard to get as far, that is a Black saying. We gotta work twice as hard to get as far as other folks, right? That is a Black American saying that Black folks say, right? So when you're assigning that to your Puerto Rican ancestry and to Puerto Rico, it's people scratching their head like, "Whoa, wait a minute. That's what Black America, that's something we always said as Black folks in America. We gotta work twice as hard to get what they got. We gotta work twice, we gotta be twice as good to get what they got, to be where they are." And then when you assign that to Puerto Rico, it's head scratching. It looks puzzling, right? Now, I am very well aware that there are Black Puerto Ricans, white Puerto Ricans. I'm very well aware of that, 100%, right? But so here's the thing, right? When Black Americans have been so disenfranchised in America, we have been so oppressed in this country for so long. We like for our people to rep us too. Right? We ain't saying you only got to rep us at all. We ain't saying you only got to be about Black Americans, but to assign all of the glory to your other lineage and your other ancestry, it makes Black Americans feel away because we're like, yo, bro, you was raised and living amongst us. You was living amongst us in the struggle. Your mama raised you as a black American in your household. He wasn't growing up eating Puerto Rican dishes now, again, y'all gonna say you wasn't in his household, but I don't believe he was growing up eating Puerto Rican dishes and raised in Puerto Rican culture. His father passed away at 2 years old. His mom is a black American woman. So again, he can honor his Puerto Rican father and honor his other lineage, but for these words are very, like when you say Puerto Rico, you gave me fire, you gave me soul, you gave me home. They gave you soul and home? Your home is on black American soil, brother. And black American communities of Baltimore, Maryland, right? They gave you soul. Your soul, when you say soul, this is the thing, that soul is something that is ascribed or it's a word used to describe black American culture, soul, right? And again, I can see if he was going to the islands as a kid, going back and forth and all of that, but he was in the United States of America and black American hoods. So when you say Puerto Rico gave you soul, it gave you home, it's like, brother, your home been with your black American mom and your black American brothers and sisters in your household with your family in black American communities. So it's the word choice that had black folks feeling away, right? Then when he says, he's speaking to Puerto Rico, he said, we are proud, we are powerful, we are present. This Hall of Fame moment belongs to the island. It belongs to us. Again, when he says it belongs to the island, it belongs to us, he making it seem like he just fully Puerto Rican and that the Hall of Fame moment belongs to Puerto Rico. And it's like, bro, black Americans was championing you. We were the ones making you the champion over. Like we were holding you up in high esteem over here, right? You know, we were the ones who were cheering you on. At times, probably it was people in Puerto Rico that maybe they probably weren't aware of your Puerto Rican heritage at first. It's still black Americans that didn't know he was Puerto Rican at all, half Puerto Rican. And I'm sure there's many Puerto Ricans who did not know he was half Puerto Rican until recently, because he got honored at some, it was like a Latin awards or something like that. He got a Hispanic Heritage Award or something he received somewhere, I think recently. And many people became aware, many Hispanics became aware of his Puerto Rican ancestry, etc. during that time period. But before then, there was a lot of people that did not know he was Hispanic. Now, some would say his name is Carmelo. I seen Dreamers Pro say, if you look, I seen in his comment section, if you look at him, you could tell he ain't black. Brother, Carmelo Anthony look black like a motherfucker. He don't look like Miguel Cotto, Puerto Rican. He don't look like that Puerto Rican. If you know boxing, you know Miguel Angel Cotto. He don't look like that. He looked like even if he got Puerto Rican ancestry, he would look like a black Puerto Rican. He didn't look like, I don't care. Even people that's from New York, people be like, we from New York, we can tell. It's Puerto Ricans in New York, people that's half Puerto Rican like Joel Santana and Fabulous, you wouldn't even know Puerto Rican at all. And Carmelo Anthony fits that description of a half Puerto Rican that you wouldn't even really know is Puerto Rican like that. Right? But it was Carmelo's word choice that got black Americans upset. Like, listen, I'm a black American that I don't care if you give praise to your other side of your ancestry, or, you know, if you acknowledge your father who is of another ethnicity. I don't care about that. It's when you make it seem like everything is owed to the island. Everything is owed to them. And it's like, no, you learned how to play basketball with black American folks. With black American kids, you learn how to hoop in black American communities. Black American communities gave you protection and uplifted you and celebrated you, etc. Your mother, your black American mother gave you home and gave you a place of comfort, and your black American sisters and brothers as well. So yeah, he could have gave respect to the island for sure. That's not an issue. But when you make it seem like all glory, all praise, all honor goes to the island of Puerto Rico, that's when black folks say, wait a minute now. Wait a minute, fam. And I know people are going to say, you are what, it's a lot of people that believe you are what your father is. They'll say, you know, if your father is black, you black, or, you know, and if your father is another ethnicity, then you are that ethnicity. To me, I don't find that to be true. Because there are many kids that were born, during the time that we were in war in other countries. A lot of black men made children. Let me not even say that, because that ain't the point that I'm using. Let's just say there's a black child who has a black mother and a Korean father. Do you think people in Korea are going to consider that black man Korean? Hell the fuck no. Not at all. That's the point I'm making. If you got a black mother and you got a Chinese father, are the people in China going to consider you Chinese? Absolutely not. They're going to see that black skin. They're going to see that hue on their skin and say, oh no, you're not one of us. I don't care who your father is. In Japan, I don't even, Rui Hachimura, is he Japanese? I believe, that plays for the LA Lakers, right? Now, Rui's first language, I think, is Japanese. I think he's Japanese, right? Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think them people see a Japanese man when they look at Rui Hachimura? Even in Japan, they know who his mama is. But again, that's the wrong ideology, because his mother that's the wrong point I'm making. His mother is Japanese, his father is black, and people say you are what your father is. So that's the wrong point. Excuse me, I'm getting off topic. If a black woman has a baby with any Asian person, any Asian man, the Asian community not gonna look at them as Korean or Chinese or Japanese. They gonna say, no, you black, look at your skin. Despite their father being Chinese, Korean, or Japanese, they're not gonna look at them like that. I got a perfect, even better example. Bob Marley. Many people don't know this. Bob Marley's father is white. How many of y'all consider Bob Marley white, for real? Let's be for real. How many people consider Bob Marley as a white man, even though his father is a white man? People say you are the seed of your father. How many people consider Bob Marley white, for real? Let's be honest, man. Even though his father is white, people do not consider him a white man. So you see where I'm going with this? You get where I'm coming from with this whole situation? So yeah, and I'm going to use a personal example. I have a cousin, my cousin Lazarus. Lazarus grew up in the Robert Taylor Projects on the south side of Chicago, Bronzeville neighborhood. Grew up in building 5135 and 5100, right? Lazarus is the son of a black American woman, my great auntie, and he's the son of a full-blooded Puerto Rican man. Lazarus darker than me, but he got the hair texture. You can tell he's Puerto Rican by his hair texture, but he's darker than me, right? Lazarus grew up in black, because in Chicago, black Americans we don't live with black immigrants. And I'm not being funny. I'm not trying to be fickle at all. It's just a fact. Black Americans don't live with black immigrants in Chicago. Africans don't be living where we live at. A lot of the Africans live on the north side. They don't live out on the south side with us, for real. Not in them black communities that we live in. They don't live on the south and west sides like that. They live in the north side. God freed them from the north side, So, again, my cousin grew up in the Robert Taylor Projects, even though he's half Puerto Rican, come from a Puerto Rican father and a black American mother. He grew up with his black American mother and the rest of his black American siblings, right? And he lived in the projects with other black Americans. His whole swagger, how he walk, how he talk is black American. Nothing about Lazarus is Puerto Rican but his hair, right? Even though he had a full-blooded Puerto Rican father, who I think my cousin lost his father like in his teen years, right? My cousin's father was murdered in his teen years. But anyway, his father was in Chicago. If my auntie, God rest her soul, if my cousin Lazarus went into the Hall of Fame in any sport realm, or if he was in any type of big entrepreneur working in corporate America, and he gave a speech only shouting out the island of Puerto Rico, only shouting out Puerto Rico, only shouting out his Puerto Rican heritage, my auntie would have lost her mind. She would have lost her mind. She would have flipped her shit and said, hold on, wait a minute. Listen, nothing wrong with you honoring your father and respecting your Puerto Rican heritage at all. But giving all glory and praise to Puerto Rico when I raised you in this black American hood, in this black American community, you was around black folks your whole life with all the rest of your black family members. You know what I'm saying? You was always around your black folks, always in black neighborhoods in Chicago. Because like I said, Chicago's segregated. Black folks grew up with black people in Chicago. It's very few black communities. There's only a few black communities where black folks and even Hispanics are intertwined. Black folk, like it's only a few black communities. I mean, there are only a few communities in Chicago where black people and Hispanics are intertwined. It's very rare for a community to be with black and Hispanic. Black and white, oh hell no. White folks do not live with us in Chicago. Asian people don't live with us in Chicago. Arab people don't live with us in Chicago. And it's rare that Hispanic people live with us in Chicago. Everybody got their own communities. So if my auntie would have heard my cousin, who's half Puerto Rican and half black, giving all praise and glory to Puerto Rico, she would have lost her mind. Because she like, yo, I raised you in the Robert Taylor Projects in Bronzeville, black area. Like it ain't nothing. It's getting gentrified now, but when he was in Bronzeville and in the Robert Taylor Projects, it was black folks all through there. Just black people in the Robert Taylor Projects. Go look at the documentaries on the Robert Taylors. You're not gonna see no other ethnicities in the buildings but black folks. Seriously, black American people. But yeah, my auntie would have felt the way, and we would have been looking like, hold on, bro. Listen, it's all good, cuz you can rep your Puerto Rican heritage, but to give them all glory and praise, it would look crazy. So again, I understand why black folks are upset by that, right? Now some would say, because again, some would say, well, Mac, you being a hypocrite because Barack Obama, he seems to just rep his black side, you know, and all of that, right? And again, because black folks have been so disenfranchised and oppressed in America, yeah, we be wanting you to rep our cultures, you know what I mean? But Barack Obama was not, he didn't grow up in black American culture. He came into black American culture when he got to Chicago, right? When he dated Michelle LaVaughn Robinson from Southside Chicago. When he in Hyde Park and all these different black communities, when he was a senator, you know, here. When he was a senator here in Illinois, like he in Chicago. And I think that's when he became ingrained, his black culture, he became ingrained in black culture during that time period coming to Chicago. But Barack Obama's mother, I got tongue-tied. Barack Obama's mother is a white woman. His father was Kenyan. He was raised with his white mom and white family. So some would say, Mac, you being hypocritical because, you know, it seemed Barack only give praise to his black ancestry. Some people would say that. But, and I guess you could say, oh man, I guess it does sound hypocritical on that front. But I think because we have been so oppressed for so long that we be like, look, yeah, you better claim us. Especially when we feel like Barack got his whole style and sauce. His whole swagger, his sauce, the swagger that he had when he became president, the aura that he had, it came from black American culture. How he walked, how he talked, the way he dapped folks up, they came from black American culture in Chicago. In Chicago. Being around Michelle and them people, being around other black folks in Chicago, it came from that. It didn't come from Hawaii or nothing like that. It came from black American culture. The way Barack talked, the way he even wears hair, how he had his hair cut. Black American culture for real, you know? But, yeah. I just wanted to make that point because some people are like, man, black Americans tripping. But I get where black Americans was coming from with Carmelo Anthony's speech. You can give respect to your other side of your ethnicity, but to give them all the glory and praise for the Hall of Fame moment is crazy when you learn how to play basketball with black American folks. And you was raised and groomed with black American culture, not Puerto Rican culture. Carmelo Anthony he ain't never played for Puerto Rico's national team. From what I know, he always played, every time he was in the Olympics, he played for Team USA. He never even played for their national team. You know, when it came to basketball. So to say the Hall of Fame moment belongs to the island and, you know, they gave you fire, gave you soul, gave you home, and you never represented them when you played basketball. You never played for your country, for the country, for Puerto Rico. You never played for Puerto Rico in the Olympics, right? People gonna scratch their head at that. So that's just my point. Y'all give y'all comments in the comment section below. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out, y'all. Peace.